All right, let's dive right in. We're about to get into a story that, honestly, gets at a pretty universal truth. Any dream you have, any goal you're chasing, well, it comes with a price tag. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the price you pay in pure effort, in resilience, and in that simple refusal to just give up. It's just three little words, but this phrase, it's the entire foundation of this story we're exploring. And look, this isn't about being cynical or negative. It's about understanding a fundamental rule of the game. Anything truly worth having is going to ask for something in return. Think of it as the currency of effort. So, what we're doing today isn't just telling a nice little tale. We're basically looking at a roadmap. We're going to follow the journey of one incredibly determined guy to see what it really takes to turn a wish into reality, and all the bumps and roadblocks that show up in between. And this is where it all begins. In a small, quiet town, we meet our hero. This is Leo. And as he's looking out over his town, he's not just seeing houses and streets, he's seeing a future that he is determined to build with his own two hands. So, this is Leo. He's only 20 years old, he's from a small town, and his family is really struggling to make ends meet. But Leo, he has this huge, massive dream. He wants to own his own restaurants and, give his family a better life. The ambition is there, 100%, but he is starting from absolute zero. His dad gives him this one piece of advice, and it pretty much becomes the compass for his entire journey. And it's not meant to scare him off. It's the exact opposite. It's a call to action. The message is crystal clear. You might have to start small, but you have to start fighting. And Leo takes that advice completely to heart. He looks around his town, and he notices something really simple. People have to travel a long way just to get their hands on some fresh bread. Right there, he sees a need, he sees an opportunity. And this, right here, is the first crucial step of any big idea. You find a problem that you can solve. But okay, here's the classic roadblock, right? He's got the idea, he's got the drive, but he has absolutely no cash. Not a dime. This is a question so many of us have hit. What do you do when your ambition is way bigger than your bank account? Leo's solution is just so clever and so gutsy. He walks for miles to the nearest bakery and he makes a proposal to the owner, a kind of grumpy guy named Mr. Anderson. And get this, he doesn't ask for a loan. He doesn't ask for a handout. He asks for a chance. He asks for 1 week's worth of bread, completely on trust. And there it is, the first big test. Mr. Anderson is skeptical, and you can't blame him. This is Leo's first real hurdle. He's got no reputation, no collateral. All he has is his word and his determination. What an answer. It's so simple, but so powerful. It's not a fancy business plan, it's just a raw statement of his character. And you know what? It works. Mr. Anderson gives him a shot. Leo gets to work, sells every single loaf, and comes back to pay Mr. Anderson just like he promised. And he works tirelessly. He's waking up at 4 in the morning, carrying these heavy baskets of bread all the way back to his town, and selling them with a kind of passion that people could really see. After just 2 months of that grueling routine, he saves up enough money to buy a small cart. Now, this isn't just a cart. It's the first real tangible proof that all his hard work is actually paying off. But Leo knows that to really grow his dream, he can't just be a seller. He needs to become a creator. So he decides he has to learn how to bake himself. And this is the next price he has to pay. The price of knowledge, of learning a new skill from scratch. And the road to becoming a baker is, well, it's messy. It's not an overnight thing. It starts with him humbling himself and asking his old supplier for help. Then it turns into these grueling 3 a.m. lessons that are just filled with failure. His hands ache, his first loaves are awful, but he just keeps going. And then, finally, after weeks of this, he has that breakthrough moment. He bakes the perfect loaf. And this is so crucial. For Leo, failure was never a stop sign. It was his teacher. Every burnt loaf, every doughy mess, it was a lesson. He understood that the real price of mastering something is pushing through countless mistakes. So just when things are finally starting to look up, life decides to throw its biggest tests at him yet. Now that he has his own small baking setup, he's got 2 huge new problems, a direct competitor and a straight-up disaster. A new baker named Eric opens up a flashy shop right in town with bright, colorful signs. And for a little while, it works. People are drawn to the shiny new thing. You can see the contrast perfectly. You've got Leo's simple cart, built on hard-earned trust, versus Eric's fancy shop,
which is new but totally unproven. But here's what's so cool about Leo. Instead of panicking, he does something brilliant. He listens. He actually goes and asks his loyal customers what they like about the new place. And then he adapts. He improves his own setup, he adds new things like coffee, and he wins his customers back. Not with flashy signs, but with quality and by showing them he was listening. And then, just when he's overcome that, the ultimate test happens: a fire. It tears through his little shop, damaging his precious equipment, and it threatens to burn everything he's built to the ground. This is his darkest moment. This is the point where anyone would be tempted to just walk away. But Leo doesn't give up. And what happens next? Well, this is the real magic of his story. His absolute refusal to be beaten becomes this beacon for his entire community. It's like a spark of hope in the middle of all those ashes.
This is the profound lesson Leo learns in that moment, because he starts rebuilding immediately. Using what little he has left, people see his spirit, and they rally around him. People start donating ingredients, they give him money, they donate their time to help him rebuild his shop. It proves a powerful truth. People want to lift up someone who first tries to lift themselves. So when the bakery finally reopens, it's bigger and it's better than ever before. But more importantly, it's not just Leo's shop anymore. It feels like it belongs to the whole town. It became a living symbol of what a community can do when they're inspired by one person's unbreakable will. So let's just quickly recap the incredible lessons from Leo's journey. First, dreams demand payment, and that payment is hard work and sacrifice. Second, failure isn't the end. It's just tuition for the school of growth. Third, if you help yourself first, others will want to help you too. And finally, the most important one: never, ever give up, especially when things seem their darkest. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question, the one for you. Leo's entire massive journey started with one simple loaf of bread. It was his first small, manageable step. So take a look at your own life, at your own dreams. What's your bread? What is that first small thing you need to start fighting for today?